Hi, this is Amara Wiley, your spiritual tour guide. Today I want to talk a little bit about the difference between a miracle and superstition. So in the realm of magic, there are both miracles and superstition. So the way I think of superstition is like having a lucky charm that you always have to have with you whenever you do something, or else it's going to go wrong. That's kind of a superstition, like a rabbit's foot. A miracle is when the way that you are moving through the world is easy and flows, and when the amazing coincidences that happen are going your way and showering you with blessings. So all of us at some point go down the path of superstition. And it can be as simple as like, oh, I think I'm getting a cold. I'm going to take some, vitamin C and zinc so that I ward off my cold, which may or may not work and may or may not actually have an effect, but it's a way of us magically thinking that the thing we want to have happen will happen. So if you have a superstition about how to protect yourself, how to make sure nothing bad happens, that's something that we start believing in that will somehow change the course of the future, which is what I call superstition. So nothing wrong with that. We all have them. My lucky pencil that I take my, exams with, the ritual that I have before I run a race, whatever it is, that's superstition. So, and that it's totally fine to do that, but whether it actually protects us or whether it teaches our brain to believe that it's going to protect us and thus protects us, I can't say. But in the realm of miracles, we don't have to protect ourselves. There is no unsafety. We are always safe. We are always protected because we are always just the energy bodies that we are. That doesn't mean that we don't necessarily get sick, that we don't have, things happen to our bodies, but our spirit is always safe. So when we can be in the land of opportunities, of allowing whatever is happening to happen and to just accept it, to see the blessings in it, then more blessings will happen, because miracles happen when we get out of the way, when we're not the ones saying, trying to protect us, because in the grand scheme of everything, we can't really protect ourselves from the way the world works in a random way, right? So we might have this idea that the more we plan, the more we come up with the backup plan, the more we come up with the contingency, the safer we are. But really what we're doing is we're getting in the way of universal flow, because coincidences and opportunities happen, get plopped in our path, shower us with blessings when we're not trying to tightly drive everything and grip the wheel with, white knuckles. Because when we get out of the way, things tend to go well. Now, you may not believe that because your experience may have been up to this point that things don't all go well for you. But I love to quote Dr. Richard Wiseman from the University of Hertfordshire in England, who studies luck. He discovered that people who believe themselves to be lucky are lucky, and people who believe themselves to be unlucky tend to be unlucky. So he started a luck school where he has everyone sign a contract that they will talk about themselves as being lucky people. And that tends to be what they find. Because it's my belief that we live in this self-actualized world, and our thoughts and beliefs and feelings shape what we experience. There's some science behind that. Our brains can only absorb a certain amount of data, about 2,000 bits per second, and we get about 100,000 bits of information per second. So our brain has to decide what to pick and choose to notice. So whatever we habitually think is what our brains will notice. So if we have sort of a glass half empty view of the world, our brains are going to notice all the glass half empty stuff, because that's what we've told it we're interested in. And if we're glass half full people, we're going to notice all the opportunities that are there that we might be able to take advantage of. Most people are somewhere in the middle of that, where sometimes the glass is half full, sometimes the glass is half empty. But the more you can view your entire world as something to be grateful for, whatever it is, whatever happens. So for instance, I had a cold this week and I ended up not having to work. And I was like, oh, that's great. I have a cold. I can stay home and spend this very cold week not having to leave the house. I could also say, oh, I have a cold. It's so annoying. When am I going to get well? Sometimes I do say that. And, like, what can I do to make it go away? Well, not really anything, right? There's nothing I can really do. I can take some vitamin C and zinc and echinacea or whatever, cold medicine, but it's not really going to go away until it's ready to go away. It's just the way it is. So I can bless my situation, or I can curse my situation. And the more I curse my situation, the more difficult it is for me to experience all the miracles that are around me. So I try to look at the world as always showering me with blessings, and whatever it is that doesn't seem like a blessing at the moment, try to think about it as a blessing. I'm not always perfect at this because I'm human. So if you try this at home, don't think it will always work. But the more we flex this muscle, the better we get at it. So what I encourage you to do is, the next time you start getting stressed out about something or upset about something that happened, is to stop yourself, take a deep breath and say, how can I look at this as a blessing, whatever it is? And the more you do that, the more the world will be filled with blessings. The more miracles will occur in your world because you'll be noticing them. And I promise you, they happen all the time. In my world, I believe that spirit is a basically good force, and that I have the opportunity to have blessings all the time. And generally, most of the time, that is how I experience it. So if I get into a dark place, and that does happen sometimes, I generally try to say to myself, this too shall pass. This is just today. This is like weather, and tomorrow we'll have different weather. So those are my thoughts for today. I love you, and I send you many blessings and all my love.